Regis.
Ah, there you are. Might we set off for Tesha Mudna now?
See no reason to dawdle. Tesham Mutna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Tesha Mudna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go. The longer we delay, the less control I shall have of my faculties. I'd really prefer not to hurt you.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world to this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care? This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. A great many beings have breathed their last here.
glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed, though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
Cells? Who for?
Disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page of my history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the sea.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Detlef's. We both remained in this part of the world.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Dead. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine.
I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it, ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then. Place the bait at the tunnel This is it. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to Novigrad.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent.
Also, my head started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I open it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
Please, girl. You won't be able to. You must forge through this. That is...
You just can smell the blood. Show me what you got. Hanging in there.
It grows. Overcome.
Good. 'Cause I can hear more coming. Hold on, I'll let you out. Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother me. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. 'Cause if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Dettlaff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No. 'Cause I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you. The pain is my way of paying my debt.
The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff.
If I had to do it again, I would in a heartbeat.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates.
Forgive me.
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Detlef had made friends with him. Still killed him, and chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Detlef I know. See anything else?
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to Detlef. Guess it could have been the start of their friendship.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really. Visions were supposed to issue from strong emotions.
Clearly, the situation provoked such emotions in Detlef. Keep in mind, he did later murder Delacroix.
Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to elicit strong emotion. Vampires are no different in that regard. Did you see anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Detlav first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Detlav.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with?
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
I'd stump wine with that one. We would stump till we were red and sweaty.
If my lips don't stink of wine, my wife won't know they're mine.
Oh!
Renovations coming along all right?
I am delighted to inform you we have completed our labors. You can now devote yourself to enjoying the vineyard's delights to the fullest. You must forgive me my temerity, sir, but I thought, with all the work on Corfo Bianco completed, and with the estate looking more beautiful than ever, it might be appropriate to commemorate the moment.
Sure, why not?
During the tidying that preceded the renovations, I came across a bottle of Sapramento, the 1250 vintage. I cannot say by what miracle it survived, but it is here, and we've cause to open it today. And then he ran straight into the crowd, burning bouquet in hand. All thought it a part of the performance, so they only laughed, even when the decor began to catch fire. It was not until the flames engulfed Baron Mahevkin's beard that folk began to realize something was amiss and went to put out the fires.
Sounds like Monsieur Bolius and Madame Nina threw some first-rate balls here.
It was so. In this regard, Baron Rossel was decidedly more reserved.
So tell me, Barnabas Basil, what's the wine situation like here? Am I going to produce any this year?
This year is out, I fear, sir. Last autumn, a fungus destroyed all the vines. Baron Rossel had new ones planted, but it will be some time before they start bearing fruit. Assuming that is, the fungus does not reappear.
That'd be bad. This Sacramento got me dreaming. It's amazing.
Isn't it, though? Allow me to top you off, sir. There.
Thanks.
I thank you for letting me stay. I cannot remember when last I was this happy.
I'd never expect someone with your past to feel drawn to the kitchen.
Do you fear I will cook in your home as I brought us a white?
Counting on you having slightly better taste as a human.
Of that, you can be sure. I loved cooking, even as a child. My gran was a true master in the...
Thought you...
Do you mean...
See you later.
Take care, Witcher. And remember, you always have warm food awaiting your return. In the mood for fireworks and action? How do you like to do it?
Caught you, you little fart!
What is the problem, kind sirs?
This smug.
Drink
There
the
ain't no
jug
shine,
of
it's all
wine
right here.
and send the
Now we
friend
know why.
for another. Speak the prophet. Let me talk.
You dump your waste in front of our shop? We saw you.
Oh my, sirs. You really ought to go easy on the wine.
So how would you explain it? Whether it pours for a week or the sun bakes our pates, we've always mud up to our ankles here.
You can't blame me for Beauclair's fickle weather.
Fickle weather! I've seen you! You empty your chamber pot in front of our shop each morn, so folks will dirty their boots go to you to get them cleaned.
A far-fetched conspiracy theory, sirs.
I'll conspire to welt your bum with my belt. Come here!
Leave him alone.
Just who the spit are you?
A witcher, and I'd advise you to go back where you came from.
I thought witches defend men from monsters, not cheats from justice.
Need to talk to the boy.
You can chat to him all you like, after we tan his hide. So stand down.
Not gonna happen.
Won't it? Well, then we'll thrash you as well, which is all the same to me.
We'll break your legs, vagrant! Teach you!
Circle him! Circle him! All together, on 3! Did I get a piece of you, Grey Groin? Lads, charge! Take him for a ride!
What's the meaning of this? The brawl? Who started it?
I'm investigating the beast, on the Duchess's orders.
Ah, yes. We've heard of you. And these men, what are they doing?
Obstructing my investigation.
Understood. Right. A few days in the clink ought to teach them not to impede official duchy business. Come on.
You're very good with your fists, sir. Wouldn't be looking for work, would you? We'd make a fine duo.
Yeah? How you imagine that working?
Splendidly. That's how. I suggest a partnership, where I see to the boots while you stand guard. And as you're the stronger, come morn you take the chamber pot out and help me make mud.
Bit about the mud's true? They were right to want to box your ears.
I've got to make a living somehow, so what say you, sir? Partners?
Let me think about it. Listen, I'm interested in a certain gentleman.
Wait! Before we get to talking, please, take a seat.
But my boots are clean.
In this city, no boots are clean unless they just come off my stand. A seat, sir, please. So then, who was it you wanted to ask about?
One of your patrons. Tall, elegant black frock. Not from around here.
An arrival? Indeed. I hear a faint bell ringing. A modest sum might make it sing out loud and clear.
How much?
Let's say 500 crowns.
What? Gotta be kidding me. What would you even do with that kind of coin?
Expand my venture. I'm sure you can imagine. Have a proper stand with a big sign. I want a new box too. New polishes, new brushes. And if I've enough coin left, I'll buy a share in a launderer's. Get wastewater for free.
Got it all planned out.
I should think so. Capital is all I require.
All right. Let's see if we can't figure something out.
Ah, see? I knew we'd clinch it.
Fine. Guess I can agree to that.
1,000 thanks. I shan't forget it. Now to the matter at hand. I know the fellow you seek, though I don't know his name. A steady patron, gets his boots cleaned every few days. He's very good to me. Always pays me a premium.
Know where I might find him?
No, but you could wait here. Perhaps he'll stop by.
Don't have the time for that. Sure you don't know where to find him? Or maybe notice which direction he came from?
When I clean boots, sir, I do not look up to see where folk come from. I clean.
It seems you're having a rough go of it.
Oh, you're here. Feeling better?
I am, thank you. The local necropolis. The air does wonders for me. Now, if I might intercede, I dare say I've the right question to ask. Young man, you see this vial? One drop added to your boot polish will help you wipe even the most encrusted boot clean as the dome of St. Lebioda's Cathedral. With it, you will serve 3 times as many patrons at a fraction of the effort, and piles more coin. I'm prepared to give you this vial if you tell me where the man we seek lives.
But you won't hurt him, will you? The gentleman's art, true, but he's kind.
In point of fact, he's a friend. Yet we had a falling out of sorts and would like to straighten matters out.
I leave his boots at the door of a house near the port. The door is red, but I do not know if the gentleman lives there.
Worth checking. Might happen on a lead.
Would you let me scrape the dirt off your kickers before you go? With all due respect, sirs, your boots could stand a cleaning.
Thank you. Perhaps later.
Handled that kid pretty well.
Finding the right approach. That's the trick to dealing with children.
Yeah, saw that. Meaning, the right thing to bribe them with.
Ew, stinky.
Red door. One the boot black mentioned.
We shall talk later. Let's find Detlef.
Won't budge. Gotta break it down.
You might just as well stand out in the street, pound on a drum and holler, "Dettlaff, I'm coming for you." A bit more finesse, I implore you.
Let's hear your idea.
Give me a moment.
Nice. Ever consider becoming a burglar? Skill like that'd come in awful handy.
I considered it briefly, but ultimately concluded it would be terribly dull. Come.
He here? Sense him.
No, he's not here, but he was here recently. His scent is still strong.
Let's look around. Old toy. No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime. Somebody fixed this recently.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently. Nice little trinket. Sometimes I think I might end up like one of these toys. Attic, let's go. So this is his nest. Need to look around. Dettlaff van der Eretain, you do not know us, but we know you to be a vampire. We know also of your weakness for the wench they call Renawed. Now you know this. We shall chain her down and let rats feed on her. We shall flay the skin from her flesh. Yet you can save her. You need but travel to Beauclair, where you shall slay 5 men in the manner we prescribe. You must complete the killing in 3 days. Fail, and the next letter you receive will contain a memento of your failure. Your beloved's finger.
There you have it. Proof positive Dettlaff killed not of his own accord. A blackmailer sunk his claws into him.
Any idea what it could be? Dettlaff have any enemies?
Indeed. Dettlaff gains foes occasionally, but they never live long.
One might have managed to evade him.
Possible in theory, but I know of none. It would have to be someone devilishly dangerous. As you well know, having faced Dettlaff yourself. Whoever it is someone new.
Who's Renawed?
His one-time lover. The sole human woman with whom he was very close. Because she accepted him. With her aid and care, he found a place for himself in this hostile world. She began the work that I strive to continue.
Ever meet her?
Never had the pleasure, alas. She deserted him the time before he came around to save me, though he always claimed she'd gone missing.
Take it you have your doubts.
I know humans better than he does. Their capacity to be disloyal, dishonest. I also know she took her things. Not something one associates with the kidnapped, or those who disappear against their will. I'll save you the trouble of asking. No, I don't know why she left. I can, however, hazard a guess that Dettlaff grew angry one day, showed another, more monstrous side. Dettlaff's anger could frighten anyone off, though most who see it get no chance to flee.
Dettlaff have trouble letting go, accepting that she'd left him?
Is that so hard to believe? Do you know no humans who've struggled with just such a thing? And Dettlaff is so much more emotional than most humans. Not only was she his beloved, his lover, his mate, she was a member of his pack. And one never leaves one's pack voluntarily.
Dettlaff ever try to find her? I mean, if she was that important. Higher vampires have their ways, all kinds. Should have been easy as pie for him.
Geralt, as you rightly noted, we are vampires, not miracle workers. He searched for months on end before giving up. Clearly Renoed knew him all too well. Enough to cover her tracks, leave no way for him to find her.
Even if Renoed did abandon him that time, looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that. And hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free her, get her back.
He's prepared to kill, that's clear.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills for he cares for her deeply. And that blood, those individuals, they mean nothing to him.
Yeah, I get it now. He's out to rescue a female from his pack.
Exactly.
Right, so someone's blackmailing him. We know that. Still have no idea who. Need to look around some more. Tools were used recently. Dettlaff unwind by fixing toys between murders.
Really now, Geralt, must you?
Look, slips of paper, name on each. Count Crespi, Count Dulac, Milton de Peyrac-Peyrin, Count Delacroix.
Dettlaff's victims, one and all. But that's not his hand.
Must have come from whoever wrote the letter. All of it written using the same ink. See the color? Ink was dyed with cinnabarite. Rare mineral, pretty much found only in
Nazaire. But I fear it means very little. Anyone could have imported such ink.
Fair enough. Still worth remembering.
Look, this slip is stained.
With wine. Not much to go on either. Especially not in Beauclair.
Perhaps. Yet perhaps also worth remembering.
Blackmailer. Kinda curious who it could be.
Why is that?
Regis. Somebody kidnapped a vampire's lover. Bold to begin with. Now they're forcing the vampire to kill. A vampire you yourself insisted no murderer. Blackmailer's skilled. Someone special.
Astute. Now that I think of it, I'm beginning to wonder if...
It's not one of your kind? Another vampire?
Precisely. The plot thickens.
Just a hypothesis. Wouldn't set my heart on it till we know more.
Right you are.
Let's sum up what we know. Seems Dettlaff's being blackmailed. Someone's been feeding him his victims' names.
All noted down using one and the same Nazari ink, and not in his handwriting.
Not much.
But enough to ascertain Dettlaff's innocence, clearly.
Actually, it is. Dettlaff's being manipulated. Some lunatics turned him into a tool, making him kill.
So it would seem. But this illuminates a path of action for us. We must find Renoed, render the blackmail senseless. The lunatic or ticks will thus lose hold on Dettlaff.
That's one idea. Could be worth a shot. But what about Dettlaff? He gonna go on killing while I'm out searching for his lover?
He will not. I shall convince him to stay his hand. Assure him you're a friend seeking to help. I'll await him here. He's sure to return sooner or later.
Think he'll listen?
He will.
Ought to wait with you, maybe.
No, he'll sense you from a mile off. Simply fail to appear. I'd better stay alone. You must trust me on this.
Fine. Need to report to the Duchess first.
So be it. We'll await you here. Dettlaff and I both.
No one gives a fuck about this
Lovely trifles.
We've no to talk about.
Hey ho!
BC.
And what of the funeral preparations?
As your grace wished, the deceased will be buried.
Geralt of Rivia, Master Witcher.
I was not mistaken. You arrived and trouble followed soon after.
Step aside. Got a matter for the Duchess.
At last, Witcher. We've been on tenterhooks. Did you catch Milton's killer?
Case is more serious than we thought. The beast? I couldn't kill it. Didn't manage.
We sent you after a monster, and you returned with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Situation's not quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
Ha! Is this a problem? Is it too much for a witcher? A monster slayer? But everyone knows how to end a vampire. Draw him by trick into sunlight. Or arm yourself with ample garlic and drive a stake through its heart.
Garlic's useless against vampires. Sun and stakes don't hurt him either. Those methods, pure invention. Only work in legends and fables.
And buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed buckthorn drives off vampires.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done, because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once. The Witcher need but tell us where to find this monster.
Go ahead. Send them to their death. Certain death.
To a lone Witcher, perhaps. To 40 of my men-at-arms, but another skirmish.
40, 50, 100, doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my guardsmen in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How? What creature can do such things?
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different. Unique or exceptional, you might say. Some transform into giant bats. Others communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Dead wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, Catechans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason. A curious contention. What, then, do you intend to do?
It's way beyond being some monster. This is a powerful being that's walked the world for centuries.
Yeah, impossible. If so great is their power, why have they not killed or enslaved us all?
Don't usually meddle in our matters. Mostly stay out of our way because they don't care about humans one way or the other.
And they do not fear we shall wipe them out one day.
They'd probably be pretty amused if you asked them that. They're well aware of their strength.
Then what can we do? Do you have a plan?
Try to talk to him. That's our best bet.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a witcher to kill a monster. Instead, he wishes to chat with it. Ha.
Know what I'm doing. His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich, capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free. Or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
Which is why that's my aim now, to prevent further attacks. Vampires only half the problem. Blackmailers at fault chiefly. Kidnapped the woman to control the vampire.
And what do you propose to do?
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. As soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason to kill.
I admit to being swayed, Witcher. You may be right. Do you know anything about the blackmailer?
Got one lead. A few scraps of paper. Blackmailer wrote the names of the vampire's victims on them. One of them stained. A drop of wine, looks like. So damn little to go on.
You've no idea how wrong you are, my dear. Send for the ducal sommelier. Hop, hop! In Tucson, wine is sacred. Here there is no such thing as a drop of wine, or stains therefrom. They are stains from a drop of Est, Ervelus, Fiorano.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Witcher, show him the paper scrap. Benoit, can you determine which wine made this stain?
Yes, yes. The west bank of the Saint Retour. That's rather obvious. Aged in barrels of Beauclair oak. Hue, deep burgundy. Clarity, high. It's simple. Saint Real, the 1269 vintage.
That's impossible. The wine is produced at Castel Ravello, especially and exclusively for the ducal table. Perhaps some Saint Real was stolen. We must go to the vineyard, see if there's not been an incident.
Saint Real. Never heard of it.
It's highly unlikely you've ever had a chance to partake of it. As I said, it is only ever served to the ducal family.
Didn't stop it from ending up on that scrap of paper. Unless your Grace's sommelier is mistaken.
In matters of wine, Benoit is never mistaken. If he says it's Saint Real, it is Saint Real. We must ride to Castel Ravello at once. Discover what has happened.
Wait. Your Grace wants to go with me? Out of the question.
I hope you do not suppose we will sit on our ducal hiney and do nothing while our duchy is in grave danger.
Your Grace, what you propose is far too dangerous. The Witcher should go alone.
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something. But I've made my decision. We shall go, accompanied by the best possible escorts. You, Captain, and Geralt. We will travel incognito. We've no wish to give the court any reason to gossip. For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to adhere to court protocol. In short, from now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not your grace.
Yes, Your Grace. Witcher, are you ready?
Yeah, ready to go.
Excellent. Give me a moment. I must don something more appropriate and concealing. Then we will be off.
This vampire, have you ever faced its sort before?
I have.
How did it end? Did you kill it?
Didn't have to fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Have you ever heard of anyone defeating such a vampire?
Know of a man who defeated one, sure, but he didn't manage to kill it. Ultimately, only another vampire can kill a vampire.
Hunters have attacked the wagon! We must help!
Stay back, Your Grace. We shall see to this.
Back, you beast! Begone! Save us! Back, you beast! Begone!
Done. Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
They were fortunately happened by.
You saved our lives.
Hooray!
Tell me more about this vineyard. Castel Ravello.
It's the best in all Toussaint. An old master of the winemaking trade runs it. Fabrizio.
He trustworthy?
He's held his post for years. There's never been a problem. Till now. I wish to know your thoughts, Geralt. The Sonreal stain, how did it wind up on the paper? Is someone...
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
Doubtless you've heard of the Beast of Beauclair. Well, we've our hands full. Especially since the rogue last attacked in the palace gardens.
I trust Her Illustrious Highness was not harmed?
Kind of you to ask, Master Fabrizio. I am well.
Your Grace? We were not warned. I shall order the salon prepared at once.
That won't be necessary. As you can see, we are not here on an official visit.
Naturally. Might I ask then what has brought you to Castel Ravello?
This is an inspection. We've got questions. You'll answer them.
Oh, and who are you, sir, to speak to me this way?
This is Geralt of Rivia, a witcher. He has come to Toussaint on my personal invitation.
Which is to say...
Which is to say, I expect you to treat him with the utmost respect.
Of course, Your Grace.
Did you hear that, Witcher? Fabrizio will be delighted to answer your every question.
Want to talk about Sonreal?
I am at your service.
The Sonreal. How many vineyard workers have access to it?
One might say only I do.
Not like you make the wine all alone. At least a dozen others work here.
I see you've little notion how wine is made. Grapes travel a long road before they become Sonreal. The workers assist me only to the stage of fermentation. I see to the maceration personally and let no one near the fat. Workers, again, assist me during barreling, but then I seal the aging barrels myself, each and every one. The wine lies in the cellar, gains character. Once this process is complete, it becomes Sonreal. And as it happens, only I have the key to the cellar in question.
Who hauls the barrels to the palace?
We've our own garrison. Guards who have served here for years and would answer with their heads for the wine.
We'll not get anywhere asking questions, I see. It's a waste of time.
Your Grace? How am I to understand this?
Master Fabricio, we have proof someone's gained access to Sonreal. Someone who should not have, which means one of two things. Either you lie to our face, or you are an idiot who has had wine stolen from under his nose and not even realized it. In either case, you shall answer for it.
But...
Silence! And listen. I shall inspect the barrels in person, thus giving you time to reflect. When I return, I expect to hear answers. Remind me, where is the Sonreal stored?
In the main cellar, around the corner. I'll show you.
I shall find it. Give me the key to the cellar and wait here.
Oh, of course, Your Grace. Here it is.
Come, Witcher.
We shall wait here, Master Fabricio.
What if Fabricio's blackmailing the vampire? Considered that?
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabricio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complications. Tapped above sediment line. Here it is. Barreling. Everything lines up at first glance. Neatly and thoroughly documented.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage. Let's find it.
Herveloos. I like it. Quite dry.
An excellent wine. You've good taste.
Est. Think everyone and their mother's heard of this wine.
Among the best in the world. Castel Ravello is famous for it.
Fiorano, Dandelion's favorite, adores it.
Ah, yes. That sophisticated palate of his.
Got Pomino over here. Sanreal, 1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
Right here, 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek.
Full. This one's full too.
This one is full.
This one's full too. Full. This one's full too. Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of Sanreal? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Wooden hammer for tapping barrels. Got the taps.
Then get to work. Let's broach those barrels.
Ready.
Step aside.
So?
Those hints of spice. Distinctive. This is Sanreal. Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But, Your Grace, I...
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of Sanreal. I beg you to forgive me.
Why did you do it?
I couldn't resist. The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
Is what I provide not enough?
I wished to buy back my family's estate. For here, nothing is truly mine. I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but what is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything if you agree to show me mercy.
Really thought nobody'd find out.
I was a fool, very foolish. I beg you, Your Grace, you must forgive me.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the Pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Sonreal. He was to serve as intermediary.
This man's name.
He never revealed it. He was tall, black-haired, and spoke with a foreign lilt. He claimed to hail from Sintra.
I've no Cintrian aristocrat at court.
Wine itself. How'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it. Have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabrizio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Cintrian Noble could be our blackmailer. Next, transport. I'll take it to Fort Astra. Damien and his soldiers will cover me.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say. Let me know when you are ready.
See no reason to wait. Let's get going.
We will set out now. Position ourselves before you arrive. You take the cart and meet us there.
Fine. When the handoff begins, watch for my signal. Relax. Now we wait.
Ah, our favorite vintner.
It's not him.
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
at your service. It was a good fight. We managed to capture one of the scoundrels.
Let's ask him a few questions. Come on.
Witcher, a moment. I was wrong about you.
Don't need to like each other. Just gotta do our jobs.
If that's how you wish to treat it. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth. And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
Not at all surprised. Expected she'd want to oversee this personally.
The master's eye fattens the calf. You're beginning to understand that, I see. This prisoner of yours, bring him to me. We must ask him some questions. Captain, do the honors.
Who sent you?
His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother.
Once again, who sent you?
Your nun's lover. They call it...
Wait. If he doesn't wish to speak, he needn't. I can think of several other ways he can be helpful. I'm certain the Witcher will need bait to lure the beast of Beauclair.
What?
Usually only take measures like that as a last resort, but in this case, think I can make an exception.
Do as you deem fit. He is all yours.
Captain, have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Stop screaming. Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Barrels. Where were you gonna take them?
I don't know.
Captain, need that rope after all.
I truly don't know. Hornet's the leader, only he ever knew where to go. But he lies over there, dead. That one. The first barrel went to a warehouse at the port. But where this one was bound, I don't know. I speak true. You must believe me.
Who hired you?
He'll kill me.
Oughta be worried about me right now. Who is he?
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Cintrian. That is what they call him. I've never seen him, but I know he mustered the men for this caper. That's what they said, that we were working for the Cintrian. I don't know anything else. I swear it.
Take him away. Throw him in the dungeon. He shall await trial there. Captain, we ride to town. Gather your men and seek out the Cintrian. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
Let's go to town.
He's late.
Relax, he'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations. We Witchers rarely get the jitters.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Cintrian appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Cintrian's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him an accomplice.
Need to find the Cintrian, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Cintrian does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
Used to it. Not the first time I've been hunted.
Must you always? Now, the port warehouse where the wine was delivered, we identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Cintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted, very.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
The Mandragora? What's that?
A club, an affiliation of local artists. Painters, sculptors, troubadours and dancers.
Never heard of it.
They exude mystique, consciously, I think. Behaving like an exclusive cabal. Artistic elites. Every now and again they mount soirees. Only wealthy patrons are invited. All arrive in elaborate masks, then drink and flirt.
Gotta nab the Cintrian. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place, a residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville, in Mountebank Alley.
He's no hero. That's the Butcher of Blaviken. Good day. I'm busy. Be off.
Quite the fragrant whiff. What is the fest get like?
Ow!
Deadly thirst.
Am I invisible?
Yes? Is it not evident I'm busy? Yes?
Welcome back to our northern dandy.
All jests aside, let me see what you got in your wardrobe.
I'm more than willing, sir.
Thanks. I think that's all I need for now.
Ever your servant, sir.
Tear your legs from your bum.
Sheath that blade, you twit!
Didn't look like locals. Damien's right. I'm a hunted man.
Have truly outdone themselves this time.
Late. Why does that not surprise me?
Well, well. I did not expect you to have such a sense of style. Not all bad. Nothing like a budding artist, of course, but... just one other detail. Here, put it on.
A mask?
All who attend the Mandragora soiree wear them. If you have one on, no one asks who you are.
Any idea why they wear masks?
Likely because they imagine it oh so very romantic and mysterious. The truth is far simpler. This way, no one can tell which drunken aristocrats are pinching the performers.
Let's go. Soiree's started.
Mm-hmm. Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. Soon as we find her, we find him. Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
Tell us about these performances.
This evening, the Mandragora has the honor to present 3 superb displays of artistry. The first was a concert by Cecilia Belont, a singer whose voice, were it stone, would surely be a diamond. Sadly, Mademoiselle Cecilia has sung.
Shame. We would have loved to hear her.
Luckily, you are in time to see the great Calesti, a master of visual illusions, come to us from far off Afir.
Visual illusions. Interesting. And the third artist?
The third and fourth, for they are a duo, are the Tuven brothers, presenting their newest pantomime.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Belont.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaveri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
Well, never. Put your own house in order first.
Go on, Geralt, be bold. Show us the artist in you. The paintballs, cast them at the canvas.
Discover your artistic soul. Good folk should retire these humans. Drop them and
Paradigm manifested.
Paradise, paradise, paradise.
I got it! It's the Soreto!
It's not a landscape, you clever. It's a manifestation of the man's soul.
Blue blood is all ice.
Should you tire of these humans? Drop them in the pit.
Come, let's look in the alcoves.
That green, lush and verdant as a field of vines.
To vines and to wine.
Composition takes shape.
Yes, it's sure to be a masterpiece.
Started crimson oxblood.
Ice lips, full sensual tardiness.
Please do not disturb. Dr. Frosty, you must be tired.
Voila! Fine. Now, allow me a moment to ponder. My appraisal? The painting depicts spiritual dualism. The continual battle between good and evil. And defiance.
Oh yes, that's him all right. Good versus evil. the dualistic nature of man.
And defiance.
It must be someone famous. Such talent. Exceptional, true. My, would I ever love to meet him? It's a shame I didn't come.
Need I remind you that neither did you? I do have this one concludes more secretly at last.
Absinthe, the preferred hooch of artists.
Careful, it packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
Your words as you've made no effort to understand. It's a metaphor of the constant struggle for power and influence.
A great modern metaphor. What else would they think of? If they can't agree, the other one. Some struggle. Need I remind you that neither did you?
Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
How beautiful. The dolphins. That is no ordinary illusion. The man is a true artist.
Impressive.
Sure to be in one of the alcoves.
Well, hey there. Hello. About to burst from a surf.
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
Fine. Let's give it a try.
Never suspected you believed in such things. Come, let's look in the alcoves.
Don't rush about so.
Pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but pretentious. So blah blah blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. It's all about two things.
Do not disturb! Shoo! Shoo!
It's the right flower.
Of course it is! A Koviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still! You may speak, but for love's sake, do not move.
Wow. Impressive portrait.
I know the style, the stroke. This is Dorian Velez.
The gracious lady has heard of me?
I've heard Anna Henrietta herself wished you to paint her portrait once.
At one point, the palace chamberlain even wrote to me, but alas, ultimately refused my terms.
What was the matter?
When he learnt I only ever paint nudes, he severed all contact. He said he would not dare offend her illustrious highness with such a proposition. I've always longed to paint her. Such a shame.
I think you may still get your chance.
We came here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Centrian Noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Centrian Noble. Ah! You must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid confused me.
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here. Tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift, a heart-shaped box. Then they strolled off together towards the refreshment tables.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur, I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions.
This was scratched. Someone beat him with it once.
Empty heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Cintrian, I imagine.
Scent still hangs in the air. Let's follow it.
Aren't they even? Because the right cuff seems somewhat tired to me.
It's fine. Relax.
Sorry, only artists in the Mandragora allowed.
Come, we must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh! Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
I hope we can count on your discretion.
Of course. I shall be silent as the grave.
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask, and he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs. That must be Cecilia.
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana. At once. She should bring her soiree to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine. Go after that rogue. I shall fetch help.
Killed her, then went out on the balcony. Bloody handprint. It's his. Tore down the door, made a platform. Clever. Must be pretty strong, too. Broke the flower pot when moving the door, then stepped in the soil. Footprints, made by soiled boots. Must have climbed this ladder. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Blood stains. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Precious stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this. Must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it, hard, then sank to the floor. Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for. Empty inkwell. Knocked over, turned toward the room. Canvas is cut. Somebody took a knife to the painting, looks like. sconce is bent, smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it? Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out? Fall out? Hunting knife, richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Fall had to have killed them. Jewel's still here, though, so our Centurion must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything, in full detail. I caught him red-handed, attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He
fell out of the window.
Just so.
None too wise picking a fight with an armed robber.
Why? Because I'm a woman, in a frock rather than plate. I can take care of myself, I assure you. A hairpin might look like mere ornament, but plunged into an eye, it can be as effective as a blade.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewelry.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it, many years ago, from a young woman.
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Centurion must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the Sonreal and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
It could be something else altogether. My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers. She left court when we were children. My parents banished her from the duchy. I've not seen her since.
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Can an individual be evil because they were born during the wrong lunar phase?
Could be the case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth. Isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Siana.
She was angry at the whole world. She felt inferior, felt pain, though she masked this with confidence, arrogance even. She could also be cruel at times. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush. Siana knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day. In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly since.
Think your sister might be involved? Why?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive, throwing jealous fits if I had something she didn't.
Here, that's normal for sisters. Rivalry.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. There are times I miss that very much. The wine, its theft, was the first clue. That's very much like her. She always did enjoy stealing my toys, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift, at a time when my parents thought of her as but an ill-behaved little girl. Someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen, or recovered. It's my sister. It must be.
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries? Could be right.
Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Duntine, and if Sianna is there, you must find her. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way, shape, or form. You must make sure of that.
Can't guarantee her safety, unfortunately. Especially if she's one of those responsible for these crimes.
Witcher, that was not a request.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlaf van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire.
We are lending our combined resources to the Witcher's hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. We've known each other for... ages. Literally. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too. Even that you are friends.
Seems surprised. Why?
I never would have suspected Regis to find common ground with a Witcher.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only two options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. For what might a monster wish to apologize to a Witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Enough about the Witcher trait for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith.
An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a Witcher,
and the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Detlaf here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous, and you are gonna watch him.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detlaf believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore.
That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renna.
Oriana, she really your friend? Can she be trusted?
I met her years ago, before I met you, and before she settled in Beauclair. We'd not seen one another in... I can't begin to tell you in how long.
But I shall tell you all about her some other day.
Guessing it's no accident you two stopped by.
It would be quite some coincidence indeed. No, a dutiful little bird told us.
Now listen close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are. They're based at Duntine Castle.
That's splendid news. If they are there, Renna must be there as well.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there too. Thing is, she might be involved. Could be behind the blackmailing.
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract 2 women from the castle?
Mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Dettlaff, who wants revenge above all else.
Geralt, you must trust me. I've got a way with...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Dettlaff here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
I hope you know what you're doing. Fine. I shall see to Dettlaff. Good luck, my friend.
Splendidly, Dettlaff. Ah, I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back. It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to 2 exquisite ladies.
Regis, gallant as ever. I regret all the more that I shan't finish the second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. Geralt, will you see me out? You have exceptional friends. This Dettlaff, an intriguing man to say the least.
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet. I'd not survive a week at court otherwise.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost, which is why he comes across as grim.
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I. But I have not drawn you out for a romantic stroll. I wish to make certain you know what you are to do.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. You will meet them at Count Delacroix' mill. It stands along the Saône-Retour River, near the Cockatrice Inn. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at midnight. You shall storm the castle together.
River with a rod. Sit, drink. Wow.
Traditional values and morals. That is the remedy for Toussaint's problems, not 2 swords.
If in a horse trots,
Let's go.
ride it with a constant gallop.
Damn. Something's seriously wrong here. Giddy up. Not so fast, Roach.
Leave me alone!
makes you insist on me as your victim? Why choose me to torment? Begone, foul spirit.
You're tormented. By what?
Forgive me, but I must ask directly. Are you a man? I no longer trust my senses.
Not exactly. I'm a witcher. Quite a few folk think I don't deserve to be classified as a member of the human species. Know some personally.
A witcher? But no. Nor can you help me.
We'll see. Just tell me what the problem is.
A foulness, a demon or wraith haunts me, grants me no rest. It wants something. I sense this, but know not what. Each day it appears, tarries, then leaves. It's here now, there, beyond the trees.
don't see a thing.
Of course not. It cannot be seen.
Yet you see it?
Only when I drink the brew, which brings a pain to my head. Nausea. But I endured these to keep an eye on the Wraith, my tormentor.
This demon of yours, can you describe it?
It is an enormous horse, its hoofbeats pounding in the dark. It gallops to me, stops, stares, then runs on.
Sure it's not just a wild horse, run-of-the-mill?
The creature is not of this world. When it gazes at me, a terrible chill pervades my soul. It is evil condensed, its eyes black, void. Each time it comes, terror grips me. I cease what I'm doing, still my breath and heart.
What's your brew made of? Gotta wonder what's causing such strong visions. You drop in some mushroom, jumper tub, dancing dewlap?
Close. The common grey top. I see you know your herbs.
Grey top? Variety's extinct if I recall correctly.
Nearly, but not quite. I was able to grow a few from dried spores. I'd hoped a brew of grey top would reveal this nightmare. I was not wrong.
Far as I know, grey top produces some powerful side effects. Though it can, in fact, reveal the hidden, the immaterial.
Yes, I see the evil. Better that than to know it is there, but not know where.
Fine. You seem sure something's out there. I'll see what I can do. Start by taking a look around.
I cannot shut my eyes, for fear the nightmare comes again.
Dead moths. Attracted to some ghosts like to the light of a candle. Seems there's at least some truth to the hermit's ravings. Common grey top. Strong hallucinogen. Thought extinct. Don't often get to see that. Drops of blood on the pillow. Trail of him leading to the window. Shutters closed tight. Need to check the other side, see if the trail continues. Trail of blood starts at the pillow, ends here. Medallion's still vibrating.
Very near to it. It looked at you, then galloped into the woods.
Something drinks the hermit's blood at night. That I know. Gotta talk to her. Maybe she can tell me something more.
Witcher.
Heard flagellants whip themselves to atone for all humankind's wrongs. To appease the gods, gain their forgiveness. That why you do it?
We've each our own reasons. I seek to atone for the suffering of a living being, which once fell victim to another's vanity. I care not for humankind, preferring instead the company of animals.
Most likely some kind of wraiths tormenting you. Can't tell what kind, though. Felt weak, spent lately? Notice bite marks on your skin?
As I said, I feel weaker by the day. And bites, of course. There are lice and midges here aplenty.
This isn't lice. Something much bigger drinks your blood while you sleep.
But I do not sleep. Not a wink. He's always present, always watching. I cannot bear it any longer.
Sadly, not much I can do. Can't exterminate it if I can't see it.
The Grey Top. I shall make a brew of it for you. I've 2 mushrooms left. Enough for 1 dose. Perhaps then you'll see what I do.
This mushroom, even in me, could produce some nasty, unpredictable side effects.
True. There is no knowing how Grey Top would affect a mutated body.
A proper brew could be our only chance to figure this out. All right. High time we tried this. If I start muttering something about unicorns or sorceresses, ignore it. See no wraith.
Wow, this clover's amazing. Now that's what I call a bouquet.
Who said that?
Oh, you're awake. Had me worried. You were out way too long. Even considered giving you some white honey. Kinda hard to do with hooves, though.
Roach? Your voice. It's, interesting. Gotta say, I expected a young mare to sound, girlish.
Based on what? Your vast experience with talking animals? As far as I know, I'm your first.
Good point. Must be the brew that did this. Interesting side effect.
Great, isn't it? You should take this stuff more often. Got so many pointers I could give you.
Can't, sadly. Drinking this too often could prove fatal. Hey, know how you always show up when I whistle? How's that work exactly?
Well, you're my human. Gotta be there when you need me. Yes, I'll be there for you, as the world falls down.
Still kinda strange. How you cross the ocean when I call sometimes, but then get hung up on the tiniest fence. What's that about?
What can I say? Everyone's got limits.
Listen, got this contract I need to finish before the brew wears off.
Right. Monster won't slay itself. Let me see. First up, I need to know what we're dealing with. Follow me, and try not to trample any plants or small animals. Geralt, we gotta inspect this area closely. I'll look for clues. You stand there and... well, just stand.
Right.
Will you look at that?
Don't see anything here.
These are hoof prints. Not just any old horses either. These were left by an astral being. otherworldly. We gotta follow them.
Dead moths often mean a phantom's nearby.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. Now, what about the smell? Same whiff I caught at the cemetery in Vizima when we were hunting ghouls. The smell of death.
Smells normal to me. Not taking me for a ride, are you?
Seriously? All right. Now I know what we're up against.
Ophir, have you beaten her? You've been to Zerakain? Ophir, have you beaten her? Or Jews?
You look thirsty. Thirsty indeed. So, the morning after, is it?
Scarcely.
Right, Geralt. Let's sum up what we know so far.
Don't know much. It's a spirit of some sort. Torments the hermit for some unknown reason. It's immaterial, so I've got no idea how to fight it. If we can even find it, that is.
Geralt, please, I got this. It's definitely an Umbra, an immaterial wraith. This one's assumed the form of a horse.
An Umbra actually makes sense. Umbrae are completely invisible, even to Witchers. But how can you be sure?
Because it's not invisible to me, Doofus. It's right over there. It's getting away! Come on, Witcher! Hop in the saddle! Gotta catch it! There's the Umbra! Let's go, Geralt! After it! Hey! Gotta save my strength a bit. No telling how long we're gonna need to keep running. Geralt, we gotta have a man-to-horse talk. No offense, but your riding skills, they leave a bit to be desired, buddy. You'd really do me a solid if you could, apply a slightly surer hand. Be a little more decisive about where you want me to go. Sometimes I got no idea, buddy. Do I go left, right, toward where I'm standing?
Yeah, and it'd be great if you could respond more fluidly to my commands. Hey-ya!
Hey, heard this one? Horse walks into a
Faster.
tavern, and the innkeeper says, "Hey, pal, why the long face?" Ha! Let's not lose sight of that Umbra. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's right there. Run, Roach.
What the fuck do you think I'm doing?
As we're being candid, I gotta ask, why do you sometimes buck me off in the middle of a fight?
First I've heard. Don't recall that ever happening.
Of course you don't. Come on, Roach.
Melted into thin air. Oh, fuck! Geralt, watch out! Good gods! What's with the overgrown demon cats? Hey!
Marcello Clerici, knight. Died last year. Was more or less the same age as our hermit. Seems his spirit's become a horse-shaped umbra that's tormenting Penastri.
Why are you telling me this? I can read and draw my own conclusions.
Thinking aloud, that's all. Helps me focus.
Geralt, it's the Umbra! Attack!
Let me explain!
Talk, but make it fast. Why are you tormenting the hermit?
She torments me, refuses to forgive me. I'm denied peace in the afterlife, and it's all her doing. Each day I come and beg her for clemency.
Beg her for clemency? You drink her blood, drive her mad with fear.
I don't know how to explain it, but yes, a monstrous force takes me. Though I also know I'll not have peace till the day Penastri forgives me.
You and the hermit, how do you know each other?
We met as babes, grew up side by side. I loved her. Yet she was always sad. Nothing could cheer her. The world terrified her. I thought her gloom came from being poor. So I did my damnedest to take us from our village, make us a better life elsewhere. Became a squire, took her with me to the palace. But Penastri soon learned nobles are no more decent than peasants, not a speck. Once even I'd grown vile to her eyes, she fled the palace and joined the Flagellants. I left the court to be near her, yet she cast me off. Said she didn't want to know me. When the whip-bearers proved too hard-hearted for her too, she became a hermit. I see it clearly now, though I never understood her while alive. From the grave's dark depth, the living are bright, sharp flares. You see all their thoughts at once. Now I understand why she had to cast me off.
She's full of rage. Probably what turned you into an Umbra. Why take the form of a horse?
A horse? What do you mean? Each day since I died, a power lifts me from my grave and makes me run. Then I return with blood in my mouth. I don't know what this is, how it comes to pass, but I do know the torment will continue until she forgives me. But she sees me as a horse, you say?
Seems so. Same way I saw you. Must have hurt her something awful if she refuses to forgive you. Would rather see you suffer. What did you do?
To her? Nothing. But my horse, I flogged it to death. Penastri, she saw this. Proud stallion, my Blaze. But he was a bucker, and tossed me during a tourney. One I'd wanted to win badly. Penastri had been so glad they'd let me stand. Me, a peasant's son. I wanted to win it for her. But that horse made me lose. Rage overcame me. I struck and struck until at last he fell. Oh, the regret. I beg you forgive me. Absolve me in Blaze's very name.
can't forgive you for that. Not in my power.
But your horse could? Please, I'd do anything. I'm desperate. Help me. Noble mare, forgive me my sin.
Could free his spirit, pardoning him on behalf of his horse. But you shouldn't do it if you don't think he deserves forgiveness.
Did a rotten thing. Got no excuse. Your horse was loyal. Did the best damn job he could. 'Cause that's how we horses are.
True. I know I deserved what befell me.
But we aren't vengeful, don't hold grudges, don't dwell on being left in monster-infested woods. So, in your poor Blaze's name, I forgive you.
Oh, thank you. I feel it's incredible. Such relief, such lightness.
All right then. Guess we might as well head back. Penastri's nights ought to be ghost-free from now on. Anything to add, Geralt?
Nope. Let's go see her. Phantom's gone. Shouldn't torment you ever again.
I felt a change. I did. As if I'd been released from a cramped, dank cellar. I had come to believe no one could help me. I'm grateful, Witcher. I'm well aware Witchers work for hire, for pay. But I've no coin, alas. I can offer only this.
Potatoes.
A good crop this year. Exceptional.
Ought to thank my horse, actually. Phantom's departure, mostly Roach's doing.
Then I thank you too, noble creature.
Gotta admit, easy peasy with our powers combined. So, what now? We hit the path? Right to the nearest notice board? Rustle up another contract?
Exactly. Oh, effects of the bruise waning. I can feel it. Won't be able to understand you soon.
Ah, that's horseshit. I mean, I got so much more I want to tell you, and...
Clever beasts, horses. Farewell, Witcher.
Faster. Hey there.
Truthfully, only a witcher stands to best
Oi,
the beast.
Master Witcher!
I do what
come
they
here,
pay
please.
me to do. That's it.
Hello.
Wound doesn't look good. Patch that up quick if I were you, before it starts festering.
If I needed medical advice, I'd have called for a healer. And you look like none such, not even a quack.
And if you wanted a witcher to help you, you should have thought twice about being rude.
Forgive me. The pain's so blasted bad, it's darkened my mood. A foulness has made its lair in the grotto. I barely escaped with my life. I've been eyeing the cave for a storehouse quite some time. Would you look inside?
Guess I could have a look. Not for free, though.
Well, that's closer to sensible, but still too much. A fair offer.
See what I can do. Wait here, and you need to clean that wound, trust me.
I'm going to save with my hands! Watch your stones!
Wonder what happened.
What's the situation?
Not even a draft horse will talk without some
Sir, will you see what's amiss in my storehouse?
Done that already. Ran into a few giant centipedes.
And how am I to prevent them from crawling back in?
Don't know. I kill monsters, don't predict the future.
You needn't be cross, Witcher. You shall get a good price on all my goods. In gratitude. Come back in 2 days' time. You will see the fine storehouse I've made.
I'm off. See you later.
The forest, a mighty forest of hounders.
Fetch this empty bed, sweep up here, botch it all.